All right, what's up, everyone? We are here. It is episode number 12, right? I think it's 12 of our Miami Marlins franchise here on Out of the Park Baseball 18. It is Monday, October 7th. So the Marlins finished at 49 and 113. And if we take a look here at this nice little table here on Wikipedia, listed the worst Major League Baseball seasons ever. We had one of the worst 22 records in the modern era, which is from 1900 to present day. We were Detroit Tigers level bad. So for those who don't know, the '03 Detroit Tigers, they went 43 and 119. They finished 47 games back. Our team, we finished 49 and 113, 50 games back in the division. So if we take a look just at our info screen, so go here. See, we went 8-11 in April, 7-20 in May, 8-20 in June, 8-17 in July, 8-20 in August, 6-23 in September, by far our worst month of the season. And somehow we went 4-2 in October because I don't know how we pulled it out, but we swept the Nationals. So we ended the season on a 4-game winning streak. But it was just rough. So we had this long losing streak here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we had a 12-game losing streak. We had a 5-game losing streak, a 4-game losing streak, 1, 2, 3, 4, a 6-game losing streak. So it was a rough end to what was an awful season. And I imagine, taking a look right here, this is where it has to bottom out. It cannot possibly get any worse than this. So this was the worst record in franchise history. See, in 1998, after their first World Series, the Marlins went 54 and 108, but this was by far the worst record in franchise history, 49 and 113, 50 games back. Although our Pythagorean record was 57 and 105, which I think is a little interesting. Not that that makes it any better, but I still think that's a little interesting. But just awful season all around. So if we take a look at the team statistics, 9th in batting average, 15th in OBP, 14th in slugging, 15th in OPS, 15th in runs scored, 10th in hits, 14th in extra base hits, 14th in home runs, 13th in walks, 4th in strikeouts, and 11th in stolen bases. And pitching-wise, it's been the major issue with this team ever since I took it over. 15th in ERA, 15th in starters ERA, 14th in bullpen ERA, 14th in runs allowed, 13th in hits allowed, 15th in opponent's average, 15th in BABIP, 8th in home runs allowed, 13th in walks, 13th in strikeouts, and 15th in defensive efficiency. So, so pitching is definitely the issue with this team. I mean, not the only issue. I mean, everything's the issue. I mean, clearly the offense can't hold their own, but it really sucks. Like I said in the first episode, Jose Fernandez's death, may he rest in peace, it really put a major hole at the top of this rotation. At least with Fernandez, you have an ace to build around. It's so hard to find an ace starting pitcher. So at least with him, at least you have something, right? But now we don't really have anything. But let's just take a look at the statistics. So Dwight Smith Jr. was our best batter. He started 145 games. He OPS'd at 789. His OPS plus was 111. And I'm looking at this now. Wow, we did not have any 2-win players. That is awful. So Smith slash 292, 358, 431. He ISO'd at 138, 14 homers, 75 RBIs. Struck out 124 times, walked 56. Rowdy Tellez hit 27 home runs, had 90 RBIs. He had 253, 341, 437, OPS at 778. Renato Nunez, you remember we got him mid-season. He slash 256, 294, 470. He was third on the team in OPS. So I want to see what his stats with us were. So with us, that's right, because we got him he was in the minors when we got him. So he didn't do all that bad. He definitely earned a spot for next year. The other guy we got in that trade with the Washington Nationals, I just want to make sure he was not in the majors. The other guy we got in the trade with the Nationals, this Jose Diaz homie, he did pretty well for us. So with us, he slashed 260, 351, 403. He OPS at a 754 clip. He had 4 home runs, 21 RBI. So total, he had 12 home runs on the season between us and Washington. Now his WAR was negative, which leads me to believe that he had some troubles there in the outfield, playing the outfield for the first time. So I guess we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Definitely be a little worrisome. Of course, we can't play him at his natural position, first base, because we have Rowdy Tellez there. So hopefully Diaz can learn how to play the outfield, left field, right field, one of the corner spots. But you see, he's turned into a 4.5-star player, and at 26 years old, he definitely earned a spot on the team next year, which is good. So if nothing else, that was a nice little positive. Casey Soltis finished the season slashing 263, 337, 408, a far cry from what he was doing earlier in the season. Ref Snyder did okay in limited time. JT Riddle had an okay season, I suppose. I mean, he hit 262, 9 home runs. He had 5 stolen bases. He got on base at a 312 clip. It's not awful, I guess. Reese McGuire, 259, 319, 363. He OPS'd just under 700 at 682. Dustin Peterson, he was the guy that we got from the Atlanta Braves, and he did much better with us than he did with the Braves. You see, in 65 games started with us, he slashed 264, 331, 421 with 8 home runs, 32 RBIs. He had a positive WAR, 54 strikeouts, 23 walks. So this guy's definitely going to be in the starting lineup next year for us. He definitely earned that spot. And then the rest of the guys never really started. Micah Johnson started, but he did not do very well. He hit just a little over the Mendoza line at 214. So what is he? So he's arbitration. I don't know if I'm going to bring him back. I'm not really that interested in bringing him back, but I don't know. We'll see. Especially for a team like this, you can never have too many pieces. So taking a look at the pitching staff, unfortunately, Cody Poteet is actually improving. So this guy is definitely going to be in our rotation next year. I'm glad I called him up. He had a 4.96 ERA in 21 games started. He pitched just over 110 innings. He had 106 strikeouts, 43 walks. That whip is a little worrisome. 3.5 walks per 9 innings. I'd like to see him get that down just a little bit. But he did strike out close to 9 guys per 9 innings, which is nice positive. Eric Fetty completely collapsed, and he signed through 2019. I might let him go as well, just because I kind of thought, you remember this was our Rule 5 pick after the first year, after our first season, but he hasn't worked out all that much. He had a nice debut season with us there in 2018, a 4.31 ERA, 103 strikeouts, 42 walks. He figured, okay, maybe he can build upon something there, but I think we're going to let this guy go. If we're not going to let him go, he's just going to toil away in the minors because he doesn't really have a spot in this rotation anymore. Nicolino had an okay stint in the rotation, about as good as I could have hoped for, a 4.68 ERA, so it could have been a lot worse. So Boomer Biegalski, the guy we got in that Oakland Athletics trade, he was actually doing a lot better, but towards the end of the season, he kind of faltered. He had an ERA in the 2s for a while, but kind of faltered towards the end of the season. So he finished with an ERA of 4.12. He struck out 54 guys. He walked 23. He struck out 7 batters per 9 innings. He had an ERA plus of 105. So he definitely earned a spot in the rotation for next year, which is nice. Sean Reed-Foley, definitely not the debut season I was hoping for. He pitched close to a 7 ERA, close to a 2 whip. He was walking close to 7 batters per 9 innings. So that's really the reason. I mean, look at this. He walked 6 guys in 4 innings, 4 and 3, 3 and 1.1, 5 and 4.1, 3 and 5.1. So walks definitely a big issue for Sean Reed-Foley. If he can get the walks down, I think he can be a really good starting pitcher for us, but that's going to be the issue for him. I mean, look at that, 72 strikeouts, 68 walks. That's awful. You cannot have that, especially in the major leagues. I mean, you can kind of get away with that in the minors, but not in the major leagues. Let's see who else. Skylar Zinski, this was the guy we got in our first trade with Oakland, the first year we did this, the first trade deadline. He did not do all that well in his first cup of coffee. He had 6 starts. He went 0-4 with a 10.29 ERA, 2.43 whip. So another guy, walks are an issue with him. 7.3 walks per 9 innings. Now, granted, it's a small sample size, but he did have a nice final start to the year. He pitched 6.1 innings of shutout ball. Although he walked 4 guys. I mean, yeah, look at this. He had 15 strikeouts and 17 walks. That's something he's really going to have to, hone in on over the offseason. But I imagine he's going to have a spot in our rotation next year because, I imagine we're not going to have Fetty. I don't know what I'm going to do with Nicolino. I don't know if I'm going to put Foley back down AAA. I imagine I will because clearly he wasn't ready. So that's that. And then the bullpen, let's see. So Caleb Dirks had a nice season. I think he actually finished second on the team in strikeouts. He had 107 strikeouts in 104 innings pitched. So he pitched a lot for a relief pitcher, but so he was probably our best relief pitcher. Looks like I called up Cervenka late in September, just to get some more arms. AJ Minter had an okay major league debut. Could have been better, but overall, it's not terrible. He's 26 years old, so I imagine he's going to improve next year. Who else is notable here? Dylan Pierce, I called up later in September, and he did not do very well. Birdie did not do very well. Cuniff, I called him up in September, and he did okay. Steckenrider, what was this? Yeah, so this was his second season, I suppose, because he pitched 35 games last year. So this was his second season in the majors, and he did better than he did in 2018. So control is always going to be an issue with him, but I suppose he earned a spot in our bullpen for next year. And our stoppers did not do all that well. They were doing better for a while, but it seems like they also faltered towards the end of the year. Loop, he's probably going after this year. Whitgren, I'll probably keep him. Just, he's a homegrown talent. And Miguel Sokolovic. So, not a very good season, that's for sure. But it can only go from here. Like I said it earlier, this has got to be rock bottom. It cannot possibly get any worse than 49 and 113. There's no way. Now, before I go on, I wanted to take a look at Tebow again, because I remember I did that back in, I want to say like episode 6 or 7. So it's been a while. So he's still with the Mets, still one-star potential. So in 2017, we looked at those. 2018, it did not get much better. So in 15 games, he slashed 176, 263, 353. Although this year with who was this, St. Lucie, it seemed, okay, so he's got the goatee going. That's nice. So he did a lot better this year. In 10 games started, 25 games total. He had 280, 339, 540, and 879 OPS with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. So I don't know. We might have to trade for this guy in the future. I don't know. I'll definitely think about it. I would love to just get that guy. I'd love to get Tebow in the major leagues. Just like, this would have been the season to do it too, because we were on 49 and 113. This would have been the season just to call him up, or make a trade for him, call him up, and just let him go. But I don't know. I would love to just have him on the team at some point or another. But looking at our top prospects, so Kelenic seems like he's doing all right down in Greensboro in the South Atlantic League. Vlad Guerrero Jr. seems like he's doing all right, although it seems like he's never going to live up to that 4.5-star, 5-star potential. I forget what it was when we acquired him. Christian Hicks, I think, is going to be a solid addition to the team. He will probably make the major leagues next year after just a little time in AAA. Brian Anderson did not do very well in his first stint with major league action, but I don't know. He's a cheap alternative to have on the bench, so maybe he'll stay. There's Bigalski. Braxton Garrett had a rough go of it in Advanced A Jupiter with the Hammerheads down in the Florida State League. Went 0-5 with a 6.03 ERA. Walks an issue with him too. He had 4.6 walks per 9 innings, so hopefully he develops. I'm really hoping this guy, he's only 22 years old though, so, he's still got time. If he was 25 and that was an issue, it'd be like, okay, but he's only 22. Looking at how our minor league system did, it looks like it did not do very well. Our Gulf Coast League team did all right. That seems to be the only team that did anything good. The Baby Cakes finished 3rd, but other than that, everyone did not do all that well. So I think now, and another thing I forgot to mention. So I set up the Arizona Fall League a while back. I think it was last year. And the cool thing, you actually get offered to be a GM of one of the teams, I guess, as soon the year after you set it up. So I chose to go with the Mesa Solar Sox. So it's really cool. Before the season starts, you can set your roster, so you have an entire list of players that are valid players, and you can just select which players you want on the team, which is really neat. So you can do that. You can set the pitching rotations. You can set the lineups. You can even play the games if you really wanted to. Now, I don't think I'm going to do that, but because obviously it takes place at the same time as the Major League offseason, so I'm kind of want to be a little more focused on that. But I'll keep tabs on this. But I am the GM of the Mesa Solar Sox, which is really cool. And another thing, in my Phillies franchise, if you have I'm not saying if you do have the World Baseball Classic turned on, or the World Cup of Baseball, you actually get offers in 2021. It's either 2020 or 2021, I forget, to be the GM of one of the teams. So I chose the United States, and once again, you just get a big, huge list of players. You can build your own dream team, right? And you can just try to win the World Baseball Classic. And I did in my first go-around as GM, so the United States won under my watch fly, which is neat. So we beat the Dominican Republic in the championship. So that was really cool. But you can be the GM of an Arizona Fall League team. You can also be the GM of one of the countries that participate in the World Baseball Classic, along with being the GM. Oh, and there's my dog. So hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, as I was saying, you can be the GM of an Arizona Fall League team. You can be the GM of a World Baseball Classic team, as well as the GM of your Major League Baseball team that you chose. So, which is really cool. So you can be the GM of 3 different teams at one time, which is really neat. But having said that, I'm going to simulate up ahead until the end of the postseason. Just get out of that real quick. So let's just go past here, and let's see who made the playoffs. I'm not even too sure who made it. So let's go. Whoops. So playoff coverage. So your wildcard matchups, the Yankees and the Angels made it. Wow, okay. And in the NL, the Reds and the Braves. Let's see who wins these matchups here. So the Angels beat the Yankees. Okay. And, oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you guys, and it's a little. It kind of irks me a little bit, right? Because for those of you that remember my Angels series and Out of the Park Baseball 7 team, we could not get that team to win a title. Now look at this. So they have Andrelton Simmons, they have Mike Trout, they have Josh Donaldson, Brian Dozier, Cole Calhoun, right? They have such a good team, and they even have like solid starting pitching too, which is crazy. So like this team now is light years better than the team that I had constructed. And because, I mean, they have money, so obviously they're going to be, I mean, they have Josh Donaldson, they have Brian Dozier, they still have that Pujols contract on the books, so wow, he really dropped off. Wow. Yeah, he did not do very well in 2017. And how long do they have him for? Oh, well, they only have him for 2 more years. Still, wow, look, that contract is awful. They're going to pay him $30 million in 2021. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that stinks. That's a shame. But yeah, so they're good now. So hopefully I would like to see them win a World Series since I was not able to do it in 10 seasons, but having said that, yeah, let's just simulate past the postseason and see who wins the World Series. All right, so it is Sunday, November 3rd. The Los Angeles Dodgers defeated the Cleveland Indians in the 2019 World Series. Your season score this year is 1. So, as I said, it cannot get much worse than that. But taking a look at the Arizona Fall League, your Mesa Solar Sox, if we go to the team home screen, are 8-8. So we are first in our division. You see Salt River and Scottsdale are just a couple of games back. So we'll keep tabs on the Mesa Solar Sox as their season progresses. But as of right now, how's Sky Bolt doing? Oh, so Sky Bolt's actually not doing too bad with Mesa. He's slashing 302, 388, 372. No home runs yet, but he does have 2 RBIs, so it's nice to see him doing well. This Robson guy does not seem to be doing all that well, though. Well, now there's this Bracewell guy. Wow. Well, it can't get much worse. Wow, so we are first in runs scored, second in batting average, and obviously there's only 6 teams, but first in OBP, third in home runs, 5th in stolen bases, first in runs against, second in starters ERA, 5th in bullpen ERA, and second in defensive efficiency. So it seems like we constructed a pretty solid team, which is nice. Hopefully we can put it all together and win the Arizona Fall League Championship. But it is time for the 2019 offseason. So who is leaving? So we need to get a new pitching coach and a new hitting coach, and I'm definitely going to do that. So Jeffrey Loria, your task was to play close to 500 ball, and from my point of view, you failed that goal. Like, as opposed to what point of view? Like, whose point of view would say we played close to 500 ball this year? You and I may have different points of view. Excuse me. Let me get my G Fuel here. Okay. You and I may have different points of view where the team should be at this point, but I would like to see you try harder. I mean, I'm trying my best, homie. Like, you gotta work with me at least a little bit. Like, give me some money and I'll help you out. Anderson looks to be an improvement from where we were in 18, but I'm not sure if he's really enough of an improvement for me to be happy. Maybe you missed my email about improving our pathetic runs against. Not my fault. I gave you a goal in 2017 to make it the playoffs in a few seasons. His deadline is a few years away. He's not too confident right now. Neither am I. He's angry with my performance, and he feels the same about the team's on-field and front office management. So next year, he wants us to play close to 500 ball, upgrade at center field, improve our team stolen bases, acquire a locally popular player, increase team attendance by about 7,000, and keep building the team up to reach the playoffs within the next 3 seasons. This needy owner. Unbelievable. So, wow, okay, so our budget is $93 million. Our team payroll is going to be $65 million. Wow, what a generous owner. cannot wait until he sells this team or someone buys it. I'm really looking forward to that. But let's go to salary arbitration, not the offseason center. Let's go to salary arbitration. So I'll bring Cervenka back off for an extension. So his arbitration eligible estimate is $850. I wonder if he would take possibly $800. No, he would not. All right, so let's go with $850 then. Don't want to try $825, so let's just go with $850 because I know he'll take that. Oops. And cool. All right, so he'll take that $850, and Cervenka will be back next year. Sokolovic, we're not going to bring back. Who else? Whitgren we will bring back off for extension. Okay, so he doesn't want to come back. All right, fair enough. So Whitgren doesn't want to come back. Micah Johnson, I don't want to bring him back. Ref Snyder, sure, why not? I'll bring him back, and he doesn't want to come back. Okay, fair enough. Screw you two then. Miguel Rojas, I know he wants to come back. The homie. All right, Miguel Rojas wants to come back. That's what I'm talking about. So his arbitration eligible estimate, I keep saying like eligible. I don't know why, but his estimate is $1 million. So cool, 1 million mangoes. There you go. Miguel Rojas. So he'll come back. I don't want to bring back Loop. We'll bring back Del Pozo. We'll bring back Ellington. We'll bring back Severino. Who else do we want to bring back? We'll bring back Juengel. Sure. I'll bring back Christian Adams. Oh, no, he's not going to want a minor league extension, though, so we're not going to bring him back. Ryan Beckman. Sure, why not? David Vidal. Sure. This guy. Why not? Jarlin Garcia, and Austin Dean. Yeah, we'll bring all those guys back and be better off for it. So the only guys we're going to try to sign back are Cervenka and Rojas. I guess we'll bring back Sokolovic if he's cheap enough. If he's cheap enough, we'll definitely try to get him back. Yeah, he only wants 1.6, so I suppose that's good. Got to find cheap ways to save. So we're going to ask for that response. And that's fine. So we're going to bring back Sokolovic, Cervenka, and Rojas, hopefully, because Whitgren doesn't want to come back. Johnson doesn't want to come back. Well, I don't want Johnson back. Would he want to come back? No, okay, so Johnson doesn't even want to come back anyway. And Ref Snyder doesn't want to come back, which is fair enough. I don't blame him. So with that being said, let's take a look here at our mail news, and hold on just 1 second. All right, so we are back. So it is award season. So the Gold Glove Award gets announced today. I can't imagine anyone on this team is going to win any type of award. So in the AL, your Gold Glove Award winners, Felix Hernandez, Salvador Perez, Caleb Coward, Yohan Moncada, Manny Machado, Andrelton Simmons, Alex Gordon, Kevin Kiermaier, and Mookie Betts. And in the NL, Trevor Bauer, Bruce Maxwell, Brandon Bell, Colton Wong, Anthony Rendon, Jose Iglesias. So there we go. There's a former Marlin. Randall Grichuk, Jaron Kendall, and Jason Hayward. So we would have had a Gold Glove if Iglesias had stuck with us, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. I mean, we traded him to Washington, so he won a Gold Glove with them. So I'm going to say we won half a Gold Glove. So Washington won half a Gold Glove, we won half a Gold Glove. So I'm going to go with that. Reliever of the year in the AL was Aroldis Chapman, followed by Liam Hendricks and Andrew Miller, who is back on the Orioles, it seems like. And in the NL, Merandy Gonzalez of the New York... Oh, my God, the Mets and their pitchers, I'm telling you. Michael Lorenzen of the Reds finished second, while Addison Reed finished third. Now, Silver Sluggers are tomorrow. I imagine our Miami Marlins are going to have a lot of them. A lot of Silver Sluggers. Our offense was just too unstoppable this year. Trade proposal. I don't want Elvis Andrus. So in the AL, your Silver Sluggers were Francisco Mejia at catcher, Matt Olson at first, Fernando Perez at second, Joey Gallo at third, Francisco Lindor at short, Joe McCarthy in left, Mike Trout in center, Nomar Mazar in right, and your DH was Christian Stewart. And in the NL, Zach Greinke wins it as a pitcher, Yasmani Grandal, Luis Davalos, Willie Calhoun, Travis Shaw, Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, Odubel Herrera, and Bryce Harper. Wow, Herrera had a nice season. He was a 6-win player, 148 WRC+. Wow. Good for him. That's nice to see as a Phillies fan. Now, tomorrow, Rookie of the Year. Should be interesting to see. We are in 2019. So in the AL, it was Fernando Perez, followed by Lewin Diaz and Christian Stewart. And in the NL, Luis Davalos, followed by Chris J. Shaw and Merandy Gonzalez. Manager of the year, I would have to imagine it was me for getting 43 wins with this crap roster, or 49 wins, excuse me, and it wasn't me. It's a little upsetting. Dave Roberts won it, and in the AL, it was Terry Francona of the Cleveland Indians. Cy Young Award goes to, drum roll, it is Luis Severino in the AL, followed by Lance McCullers and Carlos Carrasco in the NL. Noah Syndergaard, followed by Clayton Kershaw and Steven Matz. So, yeah, that's believable. Wow, Syndergaard always turns into a stud in these days, I'm telling you. And my Phillies save, Kershaw just completely fell off the face of the earth, but Syndergaard, he it's definitely tough to compete with, not going to lie. So, in the AL, Nomar Mazara was the MVP, followed by Lindor and Trout. And in the NL, wow, so Davalos, as the Rookie of the Year, wins the MVP. Wow. He hit 320, 60 home runs. Oh, my goodness. So this was just a scouting discovery they made. Look at this. Oh, my. He started all 162 games. He slashed 320, 418, 678. He had a 1,096 OPS, a 187 OPS plus. He was an 8-win player, 60 home runs, 163 RBIs. Oh, my goodness. Why could we not find this guy? Oh, my. That's insane. Wow. Wow. All right, so let's go back to the Mesa Solar Sox here. Take a look at our team home screen. So we are still first, and it seems like we're in a good position to win the division as long as we keep winning these games here. And I am not trading John Dean. No. Go away. Unbelievable. All right, so let's go back to the Solar Sox. So we won again. So Salt River did not do very well this year. So we're really just competing with Scottsdale right now in our own division. And it looks like the regular season's almost over because we have this game against Surprise. And we just clinched the division, which is nice. So your Mesa Solar Sox. In my first year as the GM of the Mesa Solar Sox, we have won our division, the Eastern Division. So, you know, I'm just that good. I mean, this is a good indicator of how good I am as a GM. I built up a really good team here in the Arizona Fall League. So I'd say I'm a pretty good guy, a pretty good GM. But let's take a look here. Go to Arizona Fall League. And let's see. Actually, okay. All right, so playoffs begin. So who made it? So it is, Peoria, the Javelinas are going up against the Mesa Solar Sox. So is this just a best of one? Yes, it is. So best of one for everything, for all the marbles. So Peoria, went 20-12. We won 19-13. So let's see, can we win the championship in the Arizona Fall League? Actually, let's play this game. Why not? Yeah. So let's play at Peoria. Let me see if I recognize any of these names. I saw a couple names up there. Let me see if I recognize any. Yeah, all right, so there's a couple. So let me make sure the sound is off, and it is. So Thomas Hatch going up against Taylor Guerreri. So let's see here if we can win the Arizona Fall League. So we get 3 runs there in the top of the second inning. So Hatch is okay. He's at 20 pitches. 29. They get a run back in the bottom of the third. Another run back. All right. We get a run back, though, in the top of the sixth. So heading into the bottom of the sixth, it's 4-2. This is going to be Hatch's last inning, I think. Yeah, so we're going to get Hatch out of there. Now, I'm not too familiar with this pitching staff. I'm not too sure who the best guy is to use on this team. So let me just sort by opponent's average. Who was the best? Of course, he got injured. So I guess we can go with this guy, Justin Chacombe, it would seem. I don't know. Who would be the best guy to use in this situation? That's a good question. Maybe... Oh, this guy looks good. Yeah, so we'll go with Sean Morimondo. So is he... All right, so we'll go through this half inning. Get no runs there. So we're going to put in Morimondo. So Hatch gave us... Oh, nope, I don't want to sit him down. I want to put him in the game. So Hatch gave us 6 strong innings. He let up just 2 runs. So hopefully Morimondo... Okay, so he lets up a run there in the bottom of the 7th. So let's get up another pitcher here. I don't know. Let's go with perhaps not Babip. Let's go with maybe Dylan Baker. Why not? Go with Dylan Baker. Get through this half inning. I was going to say another run would have been nice, but Dylan Baker. So let's see if he can get through this half of the inning. And no, so he lets up the game-tying run Damn it. All right, so let's warm up another pitcher. Let's go through here. Another pitcher. Let's go with this Heath Fillmyer guy. Why not? He can pitch a lot of innings. So we'll go through the top of the ninth, and we don't get anything. So it comes down to this. Hopefully we can force extra innings. Can Fillmyer get through the inning? No, he can't. So in the bottom of the ninth, the Peoria Javelinas capture the Arizona Fall League Championship. It was not a home run, though, so it was not like a game-winning home run. Wow. So it was a walk-off run-scoring single versus Fillmyer. So your Mesa Solar Sox fall in the championship game for the Arizona Fall League. We just could not quite bring it home. We had our chances. We were up 4-2, but we could not stop them from scoring, unfortunately. So in the Arizona Fall League Championship, Mesa Solar Sox come in second place, but it's all good. At least we made the championship, which is nice to see. So that'll, I imagine, help my reputation at least a little bit. So I was at fair, and now I'm at an average reputation. So that is good. So salary arbitration hearings were today. Free agency filings now are tomorrow. Yeah, now they're tomorrow. So I don't really know what we need. I mean, I know we need pitching, but we don't really have a ton of money. So let's see here. International free agents. Is there anyone? Okay, so this guy looks kind of interesting. Doesn't have the best stamina, though. That's upsetting. Not control either. I mean, you've seen what happens when these pitchers don't have control. It's just a big, huge mess. Yeah, not a very good international class, which isn't too surprising. So let's just actually go to free agents. I want to see if Ohtani was posted yet. I know they sent you that email, but I think I accidentally deleted it, so nope. Free agents, international, posted players, that's what I want. So Ohtani has not been posted yet. Okay, fair enough. So let's go to our lineups first. So let's clear everything as we do every offseason. So McGuire is going to be our starting catcher. Maldonado can back him up. Tella is going to be starting at first. Can Nunez? So Nunez can't really play second. Can Riddle play second? Yes, he can. So we're gonna move Riddle to be our second baseman. Yeah. So Riddle's gonna be our second baseman. Nunez can be our third baseman. Let's see. Can Tellez play anything else? No, he can only play first base. Okay. So Diaz, I guess, can be our left fielder again. Center fielder can be... not Dwight Smith. Could Peterson... All right, so Peterson's going to have to learn how to play center field, I think. So, hold on. So, center field... wow, that completely tanks his potential. It's kind of a shame. Oh, well. So, Peterson has to learn how to play center field. Dwight Smith, we're going to move to right field. So, set his new position as right field. So we need a shortstop, that's for sure. Martin, he expects to be in the starting lineup, so we're going to let him go. We're just going to keep Casey Soltis as our backup outfielder, I suppose. We need to get some more right-handed bats in this lineup. So I think the goal is to try to find maybe like a right-handed shortstop. That would be nice. Or a switch-hitting shortstop, whatever. Yeah, and then Amarista could be like our utility guy. Can he play first? Yes, he can play second, third, short. So we need, just like that. And there, in case Tellez ever needs a break, we can put Diaz in as the backup. No, you can't do that since he's, I guess we can use Anderson as the backup first baseman. We'll try to get him some experience there, maybe use him somewhere else. So we really just need a starting shortstop for the lineup. And then in terms of this, I'd like to use most of my resources on starting pitching, so 5-man rotation. Let's see, we definitely want to put Bigalski in the rotation. We want to put Poteet in the rotation. He proved that he belongs. And maybe Tyler Beede. I guess we can give him a shot, right? We'll give Tyler Beede a shot, I suppose. I mean, his control is worrisome, but we'll give Tyler Beede one more shot. And I think we're going to have Foley start the year in AAA. We'll have Zinski start the year in AAA. And that is that. So, yeah, we need some starting pitchers and we need some relief pitchers. So that's really what we need. So starting pitching, relief pitching, and a shortstop. So let's go to free agents here. And let's see what's available. So are there any potential guys available? That's always what I like to look at, and no, it doesn't look like it. So not the strongest class, it would seem. So let's just take a look here. So wow, so Jose Abreu only wants $4.4 million. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna cut out here. Just try to find guys that I want to try to sign. So I'll come back when we get some news. All right, so we are back, and we made some moves. So it turned out to be a much busier offseason than I had originally expected. So let's go to just our complete transactions log and go to November, I suppose. If there's anything here, I don't believe there is. Let's go to December. So we signed Jed Jerko, formerly of the St. Louis Cardinals, to so we signed him to a 1-year contract, $4.4 million. He's going to slot in as our shortstop. And we also signed Josh Harrison, formerly of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Milwaukee Brewers, and Cincinnati Reds. So he really made the NL Central tour. We signed him to a 2-year deal, but the second year is a team option. So it really could just be a 1-year deal. $6.75 million a year for at least 1 year, perhaps 2. We'll have to see how he performs. But we signed Josh Harrison, so now he is on the team. We signed Josh Fields to shore up the bullpen, and I think he will do just that. So he's going to be one of our stoppers. We also signed Brandon Maurer, formerly of the Seattle Mariners, San Diego Padres, and Boston Red Sox, to also shore up the bullpen, and I think that was a good signing. So we got him 3 years, although the third year is a team option, just about $2.7 million a year, each year for 3 years. So I think that was a good sign, another move that will definitely help out the bullpen. And now the big signing that I really did not envision us doing, we got an international stud free agent, Alfredo Despain, who is extremely popular here in the Miami region. You'll remember that our owner wanted us to get someone that was locally really popular, and Despain is extremely popular in this area. So he's a 33-year-old outfielder, left field. You see he plays a really good left field. 5-star player, 60 grade contact, 60 grade gap power, 65 grade home run power. So he's coming over from a league over in Japan, the Nippon League, or the Nippon, I forget how you pronounce it, but he came over from that league, and he did really well last year. So he slashed 324, 417, 684. So he OPS'd over 1,100, 53 home runs. He hit 65 home runs the year before, and he was close to a 10-win player in 2018, close to an 8-win player in 2019. So we signed him. I was not really expecting to make a big splash in free agency, but you see he's an Iron Man. He's really popular in this area, and he was interested in signing with us. So it was between us, the Red Sox, and a couple other teams, but he decided to sign with us. So we signed him to a 4-year deal worth about $100 million, but the last 2 years are team options. So really, it's just a 2-year deal, and then if he continues to play well, because he is 33, so I don't know when he's going to start to decline, which is why I put those 2 team options at the back. But regardless, we got someone that's really going to help out our lineup. So that was the big free agent signing. We also made a couple of trades. We also released Leonis Martin, just because I didn't really want him to ruin our team chemistry. He was obviously very upset that he was not only starting, but he wasn't at the top of the lineup. So we decided to let him go in search of finding somewhere that will let him start. But we made a couple of trades. So if I can find it, I guess we made one in November. So we made I'm trying to find where exactly this trade was. I forget. So maybe if I just go to the major transactions log, that'll help. Friday, December. Well, the one trade we made was with the Philadelphia Phillies. So we sent Charlie Leisman, Alexi Amarista, and Justin Nicolino to the Phillies for Nick Pivetta. So for whatever reason, they really wanted to get rid of Pivetta. I don't know why, but they offered him. So we got Nick Pivetta. He's going to be our number 1 starter, which is good. And we didn't really have to give up all that much. I mean, it does kind of hurt losing Nicolino, especially if there's an injury in the rotation. But regardless, we did get a good, solid starting pitcher, hopefully, in Nick Pivetta. Now, we also got Pedro Baez in the Rule 5 draft, another guy that should shore up the bullpen. So the bullpen should be much better than it was last year. Now, the other trade we made, it was with the Cleveland Indians. Here it is. So we traded 26-year-old minor league starting pitcher Raul Alcantara, remember the guy that we signed last year, to the Cleveland Indians, getting second baseman Mark Mathias in return. So this guy was actually on my Arizona Fall League team, the Mesa Solar Sox. And the Indians, for whatever reason, they really wanted to give this guy up as well. And it seems like he could be a solid addition. He's going to slot in as our starting second baseman here for the 2020 season. So if we take a look now at our lineup, this isn't the lineup, but we'll have Reese McGuire at catcher, Tellez at first base, Mathias at second, Harrison at third, Jerker at short, Alfredo Despande, big international free agent in left field, Dustin Peterson in center field. I always want to say Patterson. I'm not sure why. And Dwight Smith Jr. in right field. And I did try to look for trade offers. I shopped Peterson and Smith around trying to find offers to try to get like one more solid starting pitcher, but nothing really popped up, and I didn't want to force anything. So that's how it is for right now. We'll have Maldonado as our backup catcher, Marmoleos Diaz as our backup first baseman and left fielder. JT Real's going to turn into a utility infielder. He can play second, third, and short, and Soltis can back up at center and right. In terms of our pitching staff, we're looking at a Pavetta, Poteet, Biagalski, Beat, and Reed Foley. And actually, we're going to switch them around. Rotation, Baez, Fields, and Marr are going to be our stoppers. And Steckenrider, Cervenka, Sokolovich, Dirks, and Minter are going to be our middle relief guys to start the season, barring injury, because obviously spring training is upon us pretty soon here in about a couple of months. So barring injury, this is going to be how the team is going to look heading into 2020, and I'm pretty happy about it. I think we definitely made improvements. So I think there's no way the team's going to be as bad next year as it was this year. But I think this is where I'm going to end episode number 12. In the next episode, we will start the 2020 simulation. Hopefully, we will see some progress from the Miami Marlins. Wanted to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time in episode 13.